Today I would like someone to be my assistant, like in a magic show in Las Vegas, and I need you to all pick up your wallets. Okay, find your wallet. Find your wallet, please. Don't worry, it's not collection time yet. And I won't be taking pictures of your credit cards neither. It's a good idea though. Do you have a $1 bill in your wallet? Find a $1 bill in your wallet. I know some of you only have hundreds, but those of you who are not 1%, find $1 bill. You have not $1 bill. Okay, those of you who have $1 bills, I don't want them in collection basket, okay? But seriously, on the back, on the reverse of the bill, what does it say right above the word one? And what year is your dollar bill, Zachary? 2013. What about yours, Evelyn? 2009. Okay. Are all your $1 bills say "In God we trust"? Is anybody having say something else? Well, my dollar bill says nothing in that place. Am I correct? It says one, and above it, the United States of America. There is no such thing as "In God we trust" in this $1 bill. And no, it is not a misprint. How come? The date on this $1 bill is 1935. It was not until 1957 that the US Congress made this sentence, "In God we trust," the motto of our country. And a few years later, they began putting this sentence in all our currency. I have many other bills. I collect money, by the way, not only in CDs, but also old money. This is a $50 bill, also with no "In God we trust." For the longest part of our country's history, our money didn't say "In God we trust." 1957, the height of Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis is about to happen in a few years. The evil empire on the East is growing more and more powerful. McCarthy era is happening as we speak. There are enemies and spies everywhere around us. And so our congressmen, our senators come up with this great idea that we need to put our trust in God because we can't trust anyone else. We can trust in God and maybe in our government, but nobody else. How different is this from today's gospel passage? When Jesus is sending 72 disciples out into the world, he tells them, don't worry about anything. Don't take your wallet with you. Don't take extra food. Don't take extra change of clothes. Wherever you arrive, stay if they welcome you. If not, shake off the dust from your feet. Eat what they give you. Don't be too picky. Be happy with what people provide you with. Now, notice that there is not a single sentence in that statement, in that mandate, about God. There is nothing but trusting God. Who are the disciples supposed to trust? No. God will not put food on their table. God will not open doors to welcome them. Who are they supposed to trust? The people. The people they go to. They are supposed to trust the people that Jesus sends them to. There is not a single mention of God in this passage. Jesus says, put your trust in the people. Sure, they may not welcome you. Shake off the dust from your feet. Meaning, get over it, move on. And then trust again. Go to another city and eat what they give you. And stay as long as they want you. Surprisingly, Jesus is not talking about trusting God whatsoever. Jesus is telling us to trust the people around us. To put our livelihood, to put our well-being in the hands of those next to you. And that is not easy. Trusting another person is much more challenging than trusting God. Because God, it's hard to catch him red-handed. It's hard to prove God disappoint you. It's hard to catch God betray your trust. Now, your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your child, your neighbor, your priest, your friend, now these can betray you. Now, the people that you have to deal with day after day, they can break your trust. Trusting God, putting in God we trust on our money, changes nothing about our relationship with the people next to us. It actually makes it easier to say, I trust God, so I can carry my gun and don't trust you. It makes it easier to distrust people that live next to me. Trusting God, who is very abstract and not tangible, is easy. Trusting the person next to you is much more difficult. Every time people decide to get married, they trust their lives into the hands of another person. Every time you say, I do, you make yourself extremely vulnerable and give the other person power over your life. And once you've been burned once or twice, once you've gone through a divorce, you know how difficult it is to trust again. You know how painful it is to relive the moment when your trust was broken. So it's easy to say, I will not trust again. Trusting that your church will be there for you when you need it is much more difficult than trusting God, to whom you can pray any day at any time. Trusting your priest, trusting your friend, trusting your mother or father can be much more challenging because he or she can betray your trust. When I was coming to this country, oh my God, almost 16 years ago, on August the 2nd, 2009 a.m., 9:18 p.m., I had 2 backpacks, a big suitcase, and $75 in my pocket. Do you think I trusted God? Heck no. I trusted that my seminary and my bishop, with whom I had a relationship, will take good care of me. It would be irresponsible and naive of me to put my $75, which back then was like 2 paychecks in Poland, and come to the US, trusting that God will take care of me. Because God would not. When I came to this parish in 2005, having been excommunicated and laicized and all these other BS, did I trust God to put a food on my table? No. I trusted the parishioners and the board that they will keep their word and pay for my retirement and so on and so on and so on. You see, every time you trust people, you give them power over your life. It happens with your employer, with your spouse, with your date, with your mother, with your child. You give them power and control over your life every time you trust someone. Even when I asked Mother Annie to preach for the first time a few weeks ago, I trusted her that she will deliver, that she will do a good job. I didn't trust God, that God will inspire her to be a great preacher. I trusted her years of education. I trusted her hard work to be a great priest in this church. When you trust someone, you give her, you give him power over yourself, and you make yourself vulnerable. That's why trusting others is so much more difficult than trusting God. On this Independence Day weekend, it is okay to say, as the US Congress declared in 1957, "In God we trust" is our national motto. Let it be. Trust God if you want to. But are you faithful enough? Are you crazy enough? Are you a believer enough to trust the people next to you? This is at the heart of the good message of Jesus. Trust people. Trust your spouse, trust your parents, trust your church, trust your neighbors. And they break your heart, move on and trust again. In people we trust. Amen.